Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin chart has closed the daily candle above the upper boundary line of our price channel. Some asked me what I think about this chart now that Bitcoin has closed below the upper boundary line, but it hasn't. It's closed above, so it is a potential sign of strength. That's what I said to you yesterday. I want to see a close above the upper boundary line. If you don't believe it, you just need to check out the smaller time frame. I mean, can I promise you it will hold above it? No, but it was at least a good start. I mean, strength. I mean, it is a sign of strength, and there's definitely potential for further upside, as per the videos yesterday. However, strength comes also always in the follow through. So it's now crucial that the price doesn't break back below certain levels, which I'm going to show you on the smaller time frame. But for now, everything's pointing at the moment towards further upside. But I'll tell you when I will get very cautious and when things are changing again. Now, it's not so much about predicting what's going to happen. It's more about understanding what's the current trend and what are the signals that confirm it, but what are also the signals that would make it break. Yeah. And that's what the analysis is really for. Yeah, too many people think it's like a crystal ball, which it just isn't. Yeah, there are of course some predictive qualities, and Elliott Wave has probably higher or better ones than other analysis methods, but it still is a technical analysis method that helps us to understand market structure, and much more important than understanding or than trying to predict the future is to understand what is currently happening. Are we above support? Is the trend up? When is it going to break? So understanding the relevant pivots and invalidation points. But we're going to talk about that. What I want to show you is on the smaller time frame briefly here, how Bitcoin exactly tested this trend channel. Yeah, you see this is exactly where the trend line is moving, is running, and it just retested it. So what we now want to see is a break above yesterday's high, but we'll talk about that in a minute on the smaller time frame. So we are looking here for further upside in this white wave count, at least as long as we're holding above the red line. I mean, that is for me the make or break point of this structure here on the daily chart. Doesn't mean below the red line I would get bearish. I would even prefer if the price could now hold above the upper boundary line of the channel. I think there is a good chance that if we break below that upper boundary line again, at least if there is a decisive break, that we're going to see the market gravitate towards that red line again. Or at least there is another one on a smaller time frame I'm going to show you. But overall, this area here around 105,300, 105,200, I think it's rather. This is going to be the key level that must hold. Yeah, because from an Elliott Wave point of view, this move to the upside can be a 1-2 setup. You see it here in white, which means we had a B wave that bottomed on the 22nd of June. And then this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and we could now be in a third wave to the upside. How exactly it's going to subdivide, we have to just stay patient. There are some potentials that could unfold here, but to keep it very simple, this level must hold, 105,200. And the white count might take us quite directly to 130K. Yeah. Doesn't mean that's necessarily going to happen, but at the moment, as long as we're holding the red line, that is one plausible pathway. Can things go wrong along the way? Yeah, I mean, I still see a bit of potential here for things to turn around, to break down, but for now, I simply go with the trend, right? We just read the signals and we follow the market. I tell you when things are likely going to break and when we have to make some adjustments to the chart. And some adjustments will be needed if we get a break below that red line. So in the most bullish case, with the most bullish lenses on, and sometimes it's good to do that, yeah, especially when there is upside momentum, always with a focus on risk management as well. But with the most bullish lenses, we would now move up in a third wave. Now, again, this third wave itself should have a 5-wave move inside. So it would be something like that. Yeah, and I'll show you this additional 5-wave move on the smaller time frame. Okay, now we could argue that alternatively, maybe this larger degree wave 1 is still unfolding. But this is really only important for those who really want to understand the nanostructure. Because even if this wave 1 is still unfolding, then once we have a top, we will add the next support area. And it will really depend on how the price now reacts to the levels above. I will keep you updated. I can tell you that this here is the first key level to watch here on the daily time frame. A break below that 105,200 level will shift the focus to the one below, which is here the swing low from the 22nd of June. And that level is at 98,500. These are really the two key levels that matter on the daily chart. And again, even if that one is broken, I'm not going to be bearish. Maybe on the shorter time frame, yes. But for now, the trend is up anyway. And as I said to you, if we really zoom out on the daily chart, there are only bullish counts at the moment, really. Yeah. As long as we're holding 81,350, the overall assumption we should move towards 130K remains valid. Okay, that remains the leading scenario. So whether we take the very direct pathway, as shown here in white, or we are going to take the blue pathway, which is still possible, but obviously less probable, as explained yesterday, where we could get a wider B wave and then go up. So 130K, I posted yesterday, Bitcoin is likely on its way to 130K. And some people were acting surprised, you know. I mean, I've been highlighting 130K like for the last, I don't know how many months, yeah. In nearly every day in these videos. So I don't think it's necessarily a surprise. Whether that means we go there very directly is a completely different question. But yeah, Bitcoin should still be on its way to 130K. So anyway, I posted that on X. By the way, if you want to follow us there, make sure you check out the link in the description. So just wanted to show you this here on the larger time frame. Let's go briefly to the smaller time frame. Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area. There isn't really much to add. What we see here from the swing low that formed here on Wednesday it was overnight, the overnight low. We saw that rally to the upside here, and again, we were watching for that rally, yeah. We were watching for that rally. I even made two videos. Hold on. Even made two videos highlighting, is it time for an intraday rally? So, and that intraday rally happened, right? I can't remember exactly how I drew the support area, but there was a support area here, and the price reacted exactly to the 38.2 fib level. And that was one of our targets here, and the price reacted and rallied. So we expected a rally anyway. You might remember that. We expected a rally either in the fifth wave to the upside here, yeah, or in a wider corrective bounce, something like an A, B, C, which can still happen, okay? So again, I think at the moment, in the very short term, we pay attention to the upper boundary line of the trend channel. You see there was a retest, which is positive. And now some upside continuation. And what we now need to see is a break above yesterday's high. That's the next objective for the bulls at around 109,850. And then these levels come into focus. I'd say if we really get follow through, 111 to 113K could be next. Any break below the upper boundary line of the channel could send us down to the next line there. That's 107,280. That's one of yesterday's swing lows. You don't see that on the larger time frame, but that is one level relevant for upside trend continuation. And below that level, the already mentioned 105,200. But if we break below these two, then the chart definitely needs to be reinterpreted. So for now, I'm watching for higher, especially as long as we're holding above 107,280. And the momentum is still up. So for now, I have no sign that we have topped there. Yeah. So yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.